And so I'm like, look, I'm back on the phone with the police. I'm like, at this point, I'm begging and pleading. Like, listen, my son is missing. I done called y'all 2 or 3 times. I've been at this house now for close to 3 hours, at least 2 for sure, begging for somebody to come out here. And so I thank the Lord for this 911 operator, honey. She finally had enough compassion to like really hear me out and listen. And she actually like radioed the sergeant to come. The sergeant came eventually, and so it was a few red flags with that, to be honest, because he proceeded to go in the house. But I'm like, normally the police, if they about to go in and search somebody's house, they're going with backup, you know what I'm saying, from what I know. And so he gets there, he goes to the door, he goes in, he allegedly is going to search for my son. He come back out in about 4 or 5 minutes. You ain't search for nobody. And so I said, well, what happened? He was like, yeah, your son's not in there. It's just a guy and a girl in there. And I said, no. I said, the guy that he just got here in the Uber, honey. He don't even know what happened. I need you to talk to that dark-skinned man who opened that door because his friend said that's the guy who threw the actual party. Oh, I didn't see him in there. I said, sir, I've been standing outside this house for 3 hours. Ain't nobody left up out of here. He's in there. Well, maybe he jumped the back fence when he knew you was calling the police. What? And he was like, well, does your son do drugs? No, my son don't do no doggone drugs. Does he drink? No, he doesn't drink. And he was like, well, maybe he jumped over the back fence when you knew you called the police. I said, son, let me tell you something. My son ain't got no reason to run from the police. I said, my son, he really almost one of y'all. He works at the airport. He does security. He just had background checks and stuff done. My son clean and he don't do drugs. I said, he came to the party with a friend. He's not even a partier. I said, do you think I'd be outside at 2 o'clock in the morning looking for my child if this was normal behavior? And so he was like, oh, ma'am, I don't know what to tell you. Your son ain't in there. We searched everywhere. I said, I need you to go back and talk to that black guy. He's in there. Well, unless he was ducking and hiding from me, I searched the house. He's not in there. Maybe he jumped the back fence. And so he like chuckled, like, huh. And I'm like, listen, because this ain't a laughing matter. I said, you didn't check the garage. You ain't checked the car in the driveway. How you know they ain't threw him in the car? I don't know what to expect. He gonna say, look, like laughing, like, listen, ma'am, your son is not here, but come on. If you want to go over there and look in the car and, I'll go with you, whatever. And so he like walked over there. It's like, see, he's not here. I said, I need you to talk to the black guy, that dark skinned guy who opened the door. He threw the party. You know what that police officer told me? I ain't going back up there to ask no more questions. And by this time, another little sergeant had pulled up and he told him, take her, give her a card. I said, no, listen, by this time, and it's so hard for me to tell this story because it's so frustrating to me. I'm like, listen, my son is missing. Like nobody's listening, and so they like, well, we can't do a missing person report for like 24 to 48 hours and blah, blah, blah. Now this time I'm pleading with the officer I'm standing there talking to. And so long story short, there was no help. They left. There was no help. We went to the nearby hospitals. We went to the parks. It's literally 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm asking people at the park, have you seen him? Have you seen him? We're walking around on foot. Like it's so frustrating. So the next morning, and again, mind you, we haven't been asleep at all. We went, I remember, and I'm trying to think back. I remember asking the 911 operator, like, can I go to the police station? They like, well, the police station is closed. That upset me. I'm like, I know I ain't from out here in Nevada, but honey, in Detroit, I don't recall no police stations being closed. Like, what sense does that make? And so she was telling the truth though, because we went to a couple and they were closed. And so long story short, the main one didn't open up till 8 a.m. So guess who was there at 8 a.m. trying to talk to Miss in person? And so they wouldn't let me talk to anybody in person. They gave me a number to call. So I'm calling from the parking lot. They're like, well, ma'am, we can't make a report until he's been missing 24 hours. Your son is an adult. Technically, he's not a child. I'm like, sir, listen, my son he's a college student. He live at homes with me. Something is wrong. It's like a mother knows her child, and it burns me up to this day that nobody was listening. So I decided, I rallied up his friend that was there, get whoever else was there. We about to go look for him. And so I couldn't like knock on neighbors' doors that late because I didn't want to alarm anybody where you got, a black lady out here banging on my door at 3 a.m. So I wanted to wait till the daylight. And so I called back to missing person. I begged this man, and I wish I had his name. I said, sir, listen, I get y'all rules. I get the 24-hour rule, the 48-hour rule, all of that. I need somebody to help me. I'm like, my son is missing. I'm like, he don't have a phone. He don't have his car keys. Hell, he probably ain't got on no shoes. You can't tell me he's out here walking around. He got to the same questions. Does your son do drugs? No, he don't do no drugs. He clean. You hear me? He don't drink. He doesn't do any of that. Like, I want to be like, stop asking me that, And so he's like, well,